I know you're hungry. So we'll start
What's
improv.
We're starting with
improv. We'll start the improv just to scare out the way. Just, I guess, feel a little bit more relaxed and crazy. So the game we're playing is called New Choice.
Okay.
So essentially, we'll come up with a random scene, right? Have you seen improv before or watched any shows? Have you ever seen Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I've heard of it.
You've never seen it?
I don't think so.
Okay. I recommend it. It's just like goofy TV. Who used to host it in the beginning? I can't remember his name. Drew something. But Aisha Tyler took over with the hosting, and she would basically read or give these guys, usually the main staples are like these 4 guys. Sometimes the cast change, but she would like read random games for them to play or random scenes. Sometimes she would just ask the crowd to be like, what do you do? What did you do last night? Type of thing, and she would kind of just join that together and give them a scene, and they just act it out. Anyways, so for the game we're playing, we'll come up with a random scene, and when you or I are playing out in the scene, you can then say new choice. And so let's say I'm acting out my own scene, right? You then say new choice. I then have to change some elements with what I was saying. So if I was talking about how this wine is really good, it's really tasty, refreshing, blah, 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 you then say new choice. I then have to come up with something totally different and say, this wine, I don't know. This wine is
bad.
It tastes like piss, or it reminds me of when I used to smoke, or it's just something random.
To smoke?
It's improv. So everything's made up. Yeah. So that's the idea. I don't know if that came across.
Yeah. So how do you pick
the scene?
Yeah.
Random.
So I pick your scene.
No, so we're both acting in the same scene. So if I in the scene, let's say we're both footballers. We're playing against Chelsea. We're running. You're the striker. You're the main striker. I'm the sub striker. Like I'm playing behind you. I'm just off
Let's
you.
pretend like I know what those terms mean.
You're the number 10. I'm number 9. I'm behind you type of thing. So we have 2 main strikers in front, right? And we're like running. Like next time, can you pass me that ball? You play shit last week type of thing. Then you then have to respond to me type of thing. Does that make sense? So I say something
while we're playing.
Yeah,
so
it's just random.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just random.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense a lot of the time.
So is this the same we're going with?
No, it's just an example. But if you want to go with that scene.
No.
So that was one example of how, like, with improv, when you're doing improv with someone else in a group, it's usually like a partnership where you say something and your partner basically picks it up and continues the conversation. There's a rule in improv that goes by, like, it says it's called and yes. So you should never say no or decline a statement, because you're basically killing it. You're killing the scene essentially. So the idea is to always continue the scene, no matter how ridiculous it is. You just continue and yes, and as we're running, I noticed that my belly was just rumbling, and Chelsea was about to equalize, but all I could think about was I wanted to take a shit because of the kebab I had last night. Yeah.
And then at what point do I actually have to say and yes?
You don't have to say and yes, but you basically continue the conversation.
Okay.
Like,
and what point do I know to continue the conversation?
So you kind of have to pick up on my statements in terms of.
So I can just jump in whenever.
Not that you jump in whenever, you kind of, so an ideal point would be maybe once I've finished my statements, for example. So it could be like, oh yes, and all I could think of was using the toilets. So that's the end of my sentence, right? You then pick up, type of thing. So yeah,
Cool.
You get it? Okay. So how do you come up with a scene? Let's use 2 factors, right? It has to be random. So let's see. What are you looking forward to this year the most? The rest of the year?
Not COVID.
Okay. So not catching COVID. Okay. That's
COVID being gone.
Okay, not catching COVID, and I'll ask you another random. What did you have for dinner last night?
What did I have for dinner? I had rice. With them.
Rice and stew.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't me that cooked this.
Okay, so we have not catching COVID or getting rid of COVID, and rice and stew. Okay, now we have to kind of make those 2 things work together in a scene.
Right. It should be fun. Okay, you start.
Okay. Dr. Ekem, can you believe I think I found the cure?
Find the cure for what?
The biggest thing we've been dealing with, COVID-19.
Really? And what is in your cure?
New choice. So when I say new choice, you then have to say, so instead of saying what is in your cure, you then have to say something else. That's, you could say like, does the cure work? Type of thing. Like you have to change the statements essentially, or it can get crazier. You can say, that's a lie. I was the one that found the cure.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
So when I say new choice, I'm basically giving you an instruction to be like, change the last statement you made.
Okay, you want me to change my statement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah. Okay. So
So
where did we end?
We ended. I can't remember now.
You said you found.
So I found
the remedy.
I found the cure to COVID-19. Can you imagine?
Wow.
New choice.
I need to check my cure then. Wait.
Why are you laughing at?
I'm thinking of the new choice.
So you could do the same thing back to me. So you could also say new choice to
Okay.
me. So usually, right, at least with the game, the rules I know, there's like a referee. So as we're both playing it,
right, someone else is the one that's saying.
someone else is saying new choice.
Okay.
But for us, because it's just 2 player, we have to say it to each
Okay.
other.
Alright. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you stop that. You found the cure.
So I believe I found a cure to COVID-19. Can you imagine?
That would be amazing.
New choice.
We need to sell it to the Russians.
No, I think we can get more money from the Chinese. Those guys paying hard cash.
More than the Americans?
Americans, those guys don't know what they want. Chinese, that's where the money is. Like, I have the phone number to my contact there. In-game, that's his name. In-game. You say it twice.
In-game and in-game.
In-game. That's his name.
Me and in-game will make a very good team.
No, it's in-game.
In-game. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a reliable person.
No, trust me, it's reliable. And the cure itself is so common, you won't believe how common it is. The cure itself it was not until I went to the bathroom and I was sitting on the toilet
Wow.
and it occurred to me the COVID-19 I had. It's left my body. Something must have happened this evening. And I think it's what I ate.
What did you eat?
New choice.
I have a feeling that it may have been rice and stew.
How do you know it was rice and stew?
Because of the ingredients in the stew.
I was the only one in my house. How do you know I had rice and stew?
Because I've heard from a very reliable source in Cameroon that they tried a stew concoction and it killed the virus.
New choice.
But maybe it was something else that they tried as well.
Yeah, I had rice and stew. It was definitely the stew, I think. When you put atarudo plenty inside that, the thing just flushes. When you start sweating like this, the thing just flushes the COVID.
No, apparently COVID doesn't like heat.
Yeah.
So, see, it's the stew.
It's the stew, right?
It's the stew.
Yeah, new choice.
Did you wash it down with water?
New choice.
Okay. It would be great if we can find or if we can market the cure before the end of the year, so that everyone can have a good
Christmas. Yeah. How much do you think we can get for it?
$1 billion.
New choice.
We can get a lot of money. There's so many people out there that
New
want
choice.
this. Or we could get nothing. Because stew is not a medically.
That's true. We can't sell stew. We can't. Stew is everywhere.
Too much stew. Yeah. Back to the drawing board. Oh god.
Yeah, let's end it there. Yeah, that was good. Good. Yeah.
We got there in the end.
Yeah.
We eventually found out what the game was about.